What's going on, guys? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Or as Corey Ketch would put it, welcome! Okay, welcome to... Just trying to get to my stream. No, that's how I do it. Okay. Alright, we're live. Alright, welcome back to another night of scares. Ooh, Saturday night scares. Yeah, not just regular scares. Saturday night scares. Big difference. We got 6 more videos to examine the clips on tonight. For those of you who don't know what this is about, every Saturday, I come on. I find some videos from paranormal countdown channels, and I watch the videos and I analyze them, and I give my personal opinion on whether or not they're real or fake. Now, I'm not an expert in the paranormal by any means. I'm not an expert, but I sometimes like to perceive myself as a person who's able to distinguish an actual paranormal event from obvious CGI. And a lot of times, I lean on a fence. A lot of these videos, I lean on a fence. Like, is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? And sometimes, videos either will really blow me away. Like I have no idea how that was done. And then other times I'll come across a video that's like, oh, come on, really? You couldn't have done better. But the fun part about it is that you never know, and you get to see me piss my pants as I try to figure it out. So, with that said, our first video is from King Frostmare, the scariest videos that will revisit you tonight. They'll revisit you. So, with that out of the way, let's go.
Hello guys, today we want to take a look at some new scary captures that the internet could come up with. And now we want to dive in. Let's buckle up and stay frosty. The following video was recorded by user arvin.de from Germany. He himself is very interested in the paranormal and once in a while likes to tamper.
What the Get a Ouija board.
With a Ouija board. Some of you might agree that this is not the smartest idea. And he has some interesting clips of weird things happening during his sessions.
However,
we are really interested in one of his trips he has taken recently. He ventured to the hometown of Anneliese Michel, whose story about her exorcism is quite famous. They were hoping to find something interesting in the ruins of her old house. Unfortunately, it was torn down already. However, a family shed which was built close by still remains up until this day, and Arvin was checking it out. And he might have captured something that he didn't expect.
Oh, I've seen this clip before already. Now,
a face seems to be peeking out from behind one of the roof beams.
Now, this one I was pretty fair on. I was pretty rational about it. While I also like to keep the open-minded opinion that it could possibly be paranormal. The more likely scenario is that it's a homeless person who doesn't want to be exposed.
Armin said that nobody was up there at the time, and he certainly didn't hear anything. Many commenters, though, made him aware of this capture. What do you think? Is this a being from another dimension, or can it easily be explained?
Most likely it's a homeless person. Girl in the hospital. Ooh.
The following was taken in an unused hallway of a children's hospital. The uploader states, "This picture was taken by a co-worker's sister. She asked me to put it out there to show people." The full story is that her and one of her colleagues were walking past the unused hallways when they heard a clattering sound. She shot the picture specifically because of the paranormal stories that float around the place. They didn't notice the apparition when they took the photo, or I'm sure they would have checked to see if there was actually a kid. She's an honest person and I personally believe her story. He just wanted to get that picture out there for people to see. So, short answer, it's possible that it was just a kid acting up, but it's really strange that nobody saw that girl at the time. From what I understand, the corridor is mostly unused, but they store equipment and things in it. I have been assured that patients aren't kept in these rooms, but other than that, I can't say for sure. What do you guys think? Could they capture an actual ghost girl?
Leaning more towards just a child acting up. And by the way, if you want to check out these guys' channels for yourself, links to all our channels are in the description below.
Another video found in the paranormal ghost section. Becca has posted it and wasn't quite sure what she had seen that night. She states, "Did I capture a black shadow in my house? Didn't see anything weird in any other part of the video. It was taken in the late evening, around 9 PM. I'm pretty sure nobody else was there. It's just me, my aunt and uncle, who live here, and they were both out that night. I remember because they went over to my cousin's place, but I didn't want to go because I wanted to stay and play with my new puppy. I didn't check the house at the time because I didn't notice the figure until I was showing a friend the video of my dog today. I took the video about 3 weeks ago. I don't know if it's paranormal, but it freaks me out. We've never had any other weird experiences in this house."
Oh, good boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, good puppy. Good boy. Good
Whoa, okay. Okay, hold on a second here.
boy. Go get your... Oh, good puppy. Good boy. Go get your toy.
What exactly is going on here in the background, guys? There clearly seems to be a figure walking by. And it appears to be some kind of black cloth. Was it a shadow person, or just somebody of her family? People on Reddit are not sure.
I'm going
there were many
50-50 on
theories
this one.
about
It
what was
could
captured
be
that
a
night.
real paranormal something. It could just be a
good
friend of his in
puppy.
a wrapped around a blanket.
Good boy. Go get your toy.
Actually, now that I think about it, if that was someone else in the house, the dog would have reacted to him walking by. Maybe. I don't know. That one's a bit of a tricky one.
This was also found in the paranormal section of Reddit. It reads as follows. "Someone caught this on a home security camera in my country, which is Costa Rica. People believe it to be a creature which is living in the rural area. There's several legends that speak of this crab-like thing. What do you believe? Is this just a random person pranking the villagers? Or is there something more behind this sighting?
I don't know. You know, it's easy to just, you know, say that that's a person pranking the village, but it's hard for any human to move like that on all fours. They have to be really flexible. The dog, man.
Max has forwarded me the following video. He stated that he has found it on the internet and that the source unfortunately is unknown. Apparently it was captured by a villager who might have caught the infamous dog man one night. He saw that thing walking around outside after he heard really strange noises in front of his house. Look at that thing. Isn't it simply terrifying? Who knows what exactly went down that night? Could it be the dog man? Is it a different creature? Or did somebody just prank him with a mask or something?
That's most likely. It's interesting to say the least, though.
This was sent by Julia, and she tells me that a security camera in a family home has caught something really inexplicable. They have only moved in recently, but ever since they wake up to some really strange noises in the middle of the night. Even the motion sensor alarm gets toggled on ever so often, without anybody being on the ground floor. The family has mounted several security cameras around the house for safety and to maybe capture the cause of all of this. One evening, the camera in the living room has caught something really bone-chilling.
I remember this.
Apparently the man was alone that night, and nobody else should have been on this recording but him. So, how do we explain this semi-transparent figure walking up the stairs? Is it a ghost from the past?
It's possibly real. I remember seeing this clip before, and if I remember right, I was leaning towards real, but you know, there was also that small part of me that was thinking that it could have just been an artifact from an artifact from previous footage that got transferred over to the live feed.
Kevin, the custodian ghost hunter, posts very interesting ghost investigations on his channel. Today we want to check out one of his trips. He and his daughter went to the supposedly haunted Devil Tramping Ground in North Carolina. He had visited this area before, and he states that it looked way more cleared out than the first time when he was there. They noticed that several items have been left by what appears to be other people.
This is the Devil's Tramping Ground.
I remember this clip.
But nobody seemed around at that time. However, for some reason, a really strange figure appears behind his daughter in the woods.
I got my ghost hunting gear ready to go, charged up. Maybe everyone who was here before had to get out here in a hurry.
Yeah.
It looks bluish and is not easy to make out. Many people are certain that this is in fact a real ghost. Both of them didn't notice that apparition at the time and continue to scout out the perimeter. How curious.
Well, I'm thinking that one's real.
The following video.
Because, given the location, the fact that that brand new stuff was left there by previous people, and that the fact that they didn't notice the ghost before they checked the camera footage, I'm guessing real on that
It
one.
was a really creepy one. It was sent by Thomas, and he told me that the man in the following clip is living in a haunted house for several years now. This house was built in the early 1900s and apparently was home to a cult in the 60s. As weird as that sounds, sometimes these stories are just that, stories. Tonight, the man heard a weird scream from the lower area of his house, and he grabbed his cell phone to investigate.
Alright, it's dark. Turn on the light. And the light doesn't work. Great. Oh,
Because
night
of
vision.
course it doesn't.
Okay. Night vision. So, okay, I'll wait downstairs. Alright. 18 from my office. Yeah. Great. And no lights.
A creepy female figure is standing right in front of him, and he gets scared instantly and drops his phone, and the recording ends. It is unclear what happened after this, if it isn't just somebody pranking him, or a skit played out by the man himself. What is responsible for this pretty terrifying female thing? A demon?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
I'm on the fence with that one, like 50-50. Alright. So that's our first video down. Next up we have from Chills. 12 scary videos that won't tuck you in tonight.
Number 12. When Reactor 4 burst at Chernobyl in 1986, a 10-kilometer exclusion zone was formed and thereafter was increased to 30 kilometers. The initial steam blast resulted in 2 passed away, while a further 28 passed within months of exposure. These numbers do not even touch upon the total passing toll caused by radiation, and they also don't touch upon the mutations in humans or animals in the area, which brings us to this footage published in March of 2014. The uploader states that the video is filmed at Chernobyl power plant. A close-up of an animal in the area appears to show a headless form on 4 legs running across the railroad tracks. It almost looks like a headless deer. Some in the comments say that it looks like a large deer with the face of a rabbit, or a moose with a twisted neck, and still others say the creature appears as though its neck is deformed and bending towards the opposite side. Mutant or not, kinda makes you wonder what other nightmare creatures are lurking in the area.
Right.
Number 11. Everyone knows seedy stuff happens under bridges, and YouTuber Last Leaf Studio found evidence of this in July of 2016, posting a video entitled, "Some Creature Creeps Under the Pedestrian Bridge in Kiev." The footage shows traffic passing by on a highway in Ukraine's capital, as the cameraman is posted alongside a pedestrian walkway. Scanning the scene, the camera lands on the pedestrian bridge overhead. Look closely here. Beneath the bridge you can see a large creature, apparently somehow holding onto the underside of this bridge, creeping across it bit by bit. You can even see its limbs move as it makes its way across. At first in darkness, the figure makes its way towards the light. A close-up of the creature reveals that this figure is distinctive. Its outline and limbs seem to be that of a human, or at least that of a humanoid creature. But what human can traverse the underbelly of a bridge like that, and why would they? The other option is that it's something with
Why do people climb mountains? Because they're there.
an immense amount of strength. What do you think it is? Number 10. This YouTube
I mean, there's nothing to say that it couldn't be a person. I mean, they could do that just for the thrill of it.
clip serves as video evidence of just how daring some people can be, or brave, if you look at it the other way. The footage is likely recorded in Russia's Far East, where a large population of bears roam free. Bears that have been known to wander into residential areas. In the video, one of these bears has done just that. A big brown bear is seen pacing around an empty lot, while a Russian man just sits calmly on a bench, not making the faintest effort to move or protect himself. In fact, he seems completely unfazed by the wild animal just feet from him. Surprisingly, the wild bear seems more scared of the Russian than this man is of the bear. As the bear roams closer toward him, he suddenly darts away. Though the man never moves an inch, while most people would be shaking in their britches in an all-out panic when within sight of a bear, this Russian man doesn't flinch. Maybe we can learn something from him. If you should ever be unfortunate enough to encounter this wild animal, it's best not to panic. Just don't be as nonchalant as this guy. Number 9. Fishing is supposed to be a relaxing pastime. Kick back with your pole and a cold one, and you're set for a pleasant afternoon spent out on the water. But this video, posted on Reddit by Caesar4321, reveals that fishing can sometimes take an unexpected turn. The clip shows a lucky fisherman reeling in his prize catch, a nice little fish which he pulls out onto the banks of the pond in order to remove it from the line. But as he steps closer to his catch, something pops up out of nowhere. Bet you didn't see that coming. Redditor iMoosker commented, "They are fishing in literal croc swamps, like they aren't asking for chomps." Asking for it or not, alligator incidents are on the rise in Florida. Moral of the story? Don't disturb those muddy waters, or your bones may be snapped in half by some seriously powerful jaws. Number 8. The origins of this video are mysterious, and the footage even more so.
Okay, wait a minute. When was this video posted? Yeah, 2 days ago. Is this a re-upload? Because I've seen all these before.
Some brave soul keeps poking the
Yeah, I've seen all these before. What the heck? Alright, so I guess we're doing something different. I know that King Frostmare has another video.
Hello guys, tonight we want to take a look at some more mysterious and possible inexplicable recordings again. And now without further ado, let's buckle up and stay frosty. The following video was sent by John M, and he tells me that it was recorded by a security camera outside a home in the United States. It was said that the house had several false motion alarms during the past several nights, and nothing was really ever captured on there before. However, this night was different. Something was showing up on the video material this time. It looks like a person with possibly a hood on of some sort. But what's really strange
How
is that the
transparent he
person
is.
seems to be disappearing into thin air. Are we looking at just a camera glitch here, or is there more going on than that? It is odd that the motion alarms were triggered the nights prior though, right? Who knows?
Okay, if I don't move, I can hear through both ends of the headphones. Finished.
This video was sent by Antonio and it was recorded by a security camera outside a stable. On the footage we can see one farm animal, which I believe is possibly a sheep. Which I believe to be a sheep or something. Why it was all on its own at that point is unclear. Maybe it had distanced itself from its herd. What is really weird though is the event that transpired next. Some people believe this animal was possibly lifted up by an unknown entity or even an UFO.
Either way, rip a dip there, little lamb.
Could that be so? I mean, how else are we explaining this strange incident?
Either way, that lamb's dead. What a
The
shame.
following videos were shared by Grasshopper222, and he states that some really mysterious events were unfolding in the home of their family. They uploaded the following footage, which was captured by their security system. Grasshopper states, "While my family and I were on vacation, I set up some cameras to watch the cat and the house sitter. This is what I found. The house the family is living in is pretty old, so some people speculate that it might inherit some form of old energy. Something seems to be pulling this stole on the floor. Strange, but this was just the beginning. It appears to be a really active house.
That's the way of putting it.
And one has to wonder how nobody was capturing this kind of activity before. Unfortunately, it is not documented if the family noticed anything weird in this house before.
Nope, they sure should notice it. I'm pretty sure they notice it now. That is creepy.
The next video was sent by El Mundo, and
I can't think of any explanation with that one. I think that one was real.
told me that it aired on national television. Apparently a man has captured something really creepy in front of his home. After he was hearing some weeping noises, or at least something that sounded like that, he stepped outside of his home. The following shadow sighting made him quite a bit uneasy, to be honest. In the end, it looks as if that shadow thing is just beginning to run before the video ends.
Come on, that's just a guy in a sheet. This was newsworthy?
Really odd, whatever we are looking at here.
Why was that newsworthy?
The next video we are looking at was shared by Rick, and it was recorded in the home of a man who was living there with his wife. His security system is mounted at the entrance door to monitor the entrance area. He was receiving a parcel today, and the motion sensor triggered this recording. We can see his wife sitting in the back on the couch. What's really unsettling though is that somebody else seemed to be sitting right next to her.
Okay, I didn't see that at first.
Some people say that they can see a really creepy woman. But how is that possible?
A doll, maybe? Who do want a doll that creepy, though?
Both of them were really scared after seeing that. I mean, who wouldn't be?
It's either a doll or a real event. I don't know.
This is another really strange video of a security camera, which was monitored by a security guard. He was looking at the camera system, which was surveilling the museum he was working in. He stated that he saw a weird shadow walking around, which initially caught his attention, and he started recording it off of his screen. There were some people enjoying the exhibition still. However, a semi-transparent shape seemed to pop up randomly. He had never seen something like that before.
Interesting.
There was also a strange orb.
I think I saw 2 orbs.
There was also a strange orb.
Yep, there's a second orb.
Strange orb.
Shows up right here. Right there. Ooh.
In the end, it's not really clear what was
This is a
captured
creepy
that
one.
day.
Getting chills a little bit. I'm gonna lean real on that one. The Peeker.
This clip was sent by John, and it features a young man who was Skyping with a friend while on the phone with a family member. Alone in his apartment, an unusual occurrence is unfolding right behind him. I mean, we all know this, talking to a friend on the phone, while we are having an odd feeling that we are not alone in the room. A not further explained object can be seen, popping out of nowhere. The movement is pretty inexplicable. Even the young man wasn't sure what was going on here. Let's zoom in and check it out a bit closer. Some say it appears to be a torso, or that even a head is visible for a brief moment. Even with the filter applied, it is not 100% certain in my opinion.
It's interesting. If it's fake, it's a well done, mate. It's a well done fake, that's for sure.
Although in this shot I believe it looks pretty similar to a shape of a man, undressed, his head facing the floor. And we see both his arms and legs. Could this be the case?
Yeah, it's possible, but you think that if it was another person that they'd be more distinguishable than that.
The following is a recording that was sent to me by Thomas, and he found it in the paranormal section of Reddit. The story is that the following couple woke up to some really scary activity in their home. As you can tell, they were more than uneasy, and recording these incidents were one of the only things they could think of at the time. And they planned on sharing it with Reddit. It all started with some unsettling banging noises, and the man recorded which is why this man started recording. Besides items that were thrown around, whatever this entity is also seems to be opening doors.
Did you see that?
A creepy face
Really?
is peeking out of the door, shortly before the recording ends.
Really? It's a good jump scare, I'll give it that much, but that is obviously look how the eye isn't processing on the frame. That is an edit.
Unfortunately, not much else is known about it. In my opinion, I believe this to be a creepy video project. At least I hope so. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course it's a fake.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Really? That's the one you end on? Come on, man. Give your viewers more credit than that. Alright. Our next one is top 15 scary videos for the bravest people only.
Number 15. Shortly after moving into their new apartment, this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. A few nights later, they record a full-grown adult standing outside of their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out against the well-lit parking lot. When the couple inside walks closer to the window and gets on the bed, he tries to be a little more cautious but fails miserably. It's pretty obvious that he is still there and eagerly looking straight at them. He is about as close to the window as he can be, and he is probably really getting into the idea of watching them without being seen himself, not knowing that he himself is on camera. They can see him the entire time, and this is the exact moment that the boyfriend goes out and confronts the man, who quickly stands up and shows no aggression as he walks away. It turns out to actually be their neighbor next door. He came over and apologized the next day, but something tells me that this is a compulsion that he cannot help, and soon enough he will be back at it again, if not with them, then with someone else. Number 14. This street cam records a beverage truck spinning out of control around the corner and launching liter bottles of soda everywhere. A student, judging from his backpack, has to sprint the other direction and barely avoids a carbonated tidal wave. There's also a surge of heavy red crates traveling at a high rate of speed. At the end, it kind of looks like these could have been steel cans, but I'm not sure. If so, each one of them would have hit with the force of a baseball bat, and I can't believe it, but he managed to avoid every single one. Number 13.
That was pretty
A Russian
impressive.
astronaut recently found a hole inside of their spacecraft, and no one knows how it got there to begin with. Watch this part and try to translate what he is saying if you can. Perhaps it will give us some clues.
Привел в отсек осу, где за накладкой мы обнаружили 2-миллиметровое отверстие, куда уходил наш воздух.
The hole appears to be man-made and even covered with a piece of material to conceal it, which to me indicates an act of intentional sabotage. My only question is, why would someone drill a hole in the wall to begin with? The wall doesn't
Yeah.
does not seem to be very important, and they can still fully operate the spacecraft regardless. The hole appeared after the Russian craft docked aboard the International Space Station. Now NASA and Russia are working on a secret investigation to determine who created the hole and if it was sabotage. Let me know what you think happened on this spaceship based on what you've seen in this video. Number 12. This leaked video supposedly captures a secret anti-gravity experiment conducted by the government in broad daylight. A military helicopter rises in the air without moving its blades, all while making a magnetic humming sound the entire time. Listen to how bizarre distorted droning becomes more distant as the helicopter somehow flies away. There definitely seems to be something aboard causing that sound, perhaps an experimental anti-gravitational device. I don't know about you, but that definitely does not look or sound like a normal helicopter to me. I have heard that helicopters can sometimes look like this depending on the camera that's recording it, but if someone could provide me with a more concrete explanation, I would really appreciate it. Until then, I have to wonder if this really was a government anti-gravity experiment taken within plain sight of the public.
It's interesting.
Number 11. While on vacation in South Africa, Emily Sawyer dares to climb into the shark tank with some of her friends.
Paranormal?
She is full of adrenaline and can't help but nervously grip the cage bars out of stress. Soon a giant shark comes prowling along the cage. And this slow motion video captures a man peeling around a corner as fast as he can, and soon you see exactly what has him moving so fast. A gigantic cheetah literally bounces line. A YouTuber called Douglas Cash stands at the entrance of these caves in the Bahamas. The stunning scenery grows less colorful and more claustrophobic as he takes a few hesitant steps inside. Soon he finds himself staring down a tunnel that looks barely large enough to support a human when a wild shriek fills his ears. Listen to this and tell me what it could possibly be, animal or otherwise.
Well, you know I ain't going down yet, right?
Whatever it is, it sounds about medium-sized, but vicious enough to tear your throat out if given the chance. Even Douglas doesn't seem to recognize the menacing noise and decides not to go any deeper, but since he did come all the way out to this area by foot to do some exploring, he decides to hang around the cave entrance for just a bit longer. After all, it's brighter here, and he doubts whatever he heard is going to come out of the darkness. He explores for another 2 minutes or so, studying the natural rock formations and whatnot, and then decides to call it a day. But unknown to him, looking back at him from the darkness are two glowing eyes that quickly disappear, and if you listen closely, you can hear some kind of chittering language that could indicate a certain level of intelligence. Number 8. A YouTuber captures an apparition on his doorbell cam that somehow changes shape and color. First, it has an oversized white head with no face, then it becomes see-through to the point where you can make out the bush behind it, and then it switches to a blinding white color without getting thinner. The whole time it somewhat resembles a human in height and gait, but how? Since this is the only footage of the apparition, we may never know. Number 7. If you ever ride on the subway in Toronto, you might want to stay far away from the doors. They've been opening on their own at the very worst of times, like while the train is still moving at full speed over bridges or in total darkness through tunnels. If anyone was standing nearby when this happened, they could have easily lost their balance and been sucked out. These Toronto subway incidents, while rare, have been spread out over the years and seem to indicate a long-term problem. It first happened in 2009, then again in 2013, and once more in 2016, which is about every 3 or 4 years. With that in mind, this might be the unlucky year that it all happens again. Number 6. This house is supposedly haunted, and the family room reportedly has the most activity out of anywhere. As you can see in this close-up shot, there is nothing out of the ordinary about this mirror at all. But once the paranormal investigation is underway, a woman's colorless face appears in the upper left quadrant. She is staring directly at the camera with two black holes for eyes. Her thin lips and nose clearly visible. As far as I can see, there is nothing in the room that could cast such a strangely vivid reflection. Number 5. Michael Manzo thinks there is something wrong with the snow. He grabs some from outside and attempts to melt it with a butane lighter. For some reason, it becomes blackened by the flame but otherwise remains in one solid piece.
No moisture. No dripping. Look at this.
Next, Michael takes more snow and holds it over an open stove.
No moisture. Look at this. No drippage.
Somehow, the snow fails to melt in the slightest despite being held over an intense heat source twice. This leads Michael Manzo to conclude that this is some sort of artificially modified substance made to look like snow, presumably from weather experiments of some kind. Let me know what you make of this video, because I honestly have no idea how this could be possible. Number 4.
I remember hearing the stories about that. I don't believe them because this was back at a time when I can't remember what the place was, but it was a place that normally doesn't get any snow at all, and they somehow got like 6 feet of it. And apparently that video came out around the same time at the same location. So there's a whole lot of conspiracy going around about how the government was trying to was producing fake snow as a way to spread cancer or something like that. But see, there's only one problem with that theory. The snow melted the next day. So it's like, if the government was really behind all that, you think that people would have noticed like large trucks coming to get that snow, because that whole area got 6 feet of snow and it all melted the next day. So yeah, that's not happening. Sorry, 6 inches. I meant to say 6 inches. Not 6. What did I say? 6 feet. But yeah, either way, if the snow was that incapable of melting, the people would have noticed if government trucks were removing it.
Two friends explore a park in North Hollywood after hearing reports of a maniac approaching random.
I think it's just styrofoam, kind of painted with glaze to make it look like snow.
People. Soon they grow bored and decide to try to test the visual range of their night vision camera for fun. He tells his friend to keep moving back until she is barely visible.
It's on night vision. Keep going.
Soon she is little more than an outline of a black silhouette against the night sky. When she is a good distance away, something that's been watching them the entire time snatches her into the shadows.
Just stop playing around. It's not funny.
If this video is real, then whatever grabs her possesses impossible strength and speed. It picks her up off her feet like she weighs nothing at all, which makes me wonder how big this creature is and how it manages to move so fast without any sound. Number 3. A YouTube channel called Exploring with Danny returns to a haunted chapel that has given him a bad feeling in the past. He is taking another look around when he detects shuffling in the next room over.
I remember when he first came to this.
When he goes to check.
Yeah, when he entered this room, he panned his camera around at a glass door, and like a ghost nun was staring back at him.
Out the next room, it proves to be just as empty as the first. He doesn't see anything unusual and soon begins to record various plaques on the wall out of interest. Danny is looking over the names of soldiers when he casually sees something paranormal sticking out from behind a doorway.
Oh my god!
The scream in his throat sounds very real as he turns to find the unmistakable outline of a nun's head staring through him. It happens very quickly and it's hard to tell if it really is a ghost or not. Before you say fake though, first hear me out. The nun sighting happens at approximately 2 minutes into the video. Yet here you can see the doorway is completely empty at 1 minute 45 seconds, a full 15 seconds prior. The video appears to be taken in one continuous take with no editing. Therefore, I believe there is a...
Okay, now hold on. I just noticed this. There it is right there. You can see it. You can see the outline, the black right there, and the white on the inside of it. That's it right there. This is a setup. This is fake. I don't know if he planned it or not, but there is something there prior to him showing up to it.
Empty at 1 minute 45 seconds, a full 15 seconds prior. The video appears to be taken in one continuous take with no editing. Therefore, I believe there is a strong possibility that this sighting is real. Number 2, a YouTuber named Spunkflunk recorded this video with the innocent intention of asking people to follow him on Google+. Little did he realize the paranormal moment that he accidentally caught while filming the video. If you look at the doll on the bed at the 29-second mark, you will clearly see that the doll moves its hand to the side and then back down.
Click add to circles and then just click following. That'd be awesome. It'll only take like a few seconds and that'll get me to 1,000 followers.
The fact that it moves its hand back down makes me think this video was not done by a string. In addition, most of his recent videos have nothing to do with the paranormal. What do you think caused this bizarre moment? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it because we life, then go to my Instagram at Dylan. Find out. Number 1. When a fire fills a downtown Philadelphia apartment building with smoke, one of the residents living at the top climbs all 19 floors down by himself with nothing but his bare hands. Thinking fast, he quickly devises a plan to climb down using the balcony columns for support. Firefighters and police have nothing to catch him with. If he falls, then the only assistance they can provide is by guiding him with flashlights and a giant spotlight. It does seem to help him find his way, but it could blind him as well, so they have to be careful to stay away from his eyes. Eventually, he touches the sidewalk and is safe. When you look at this view from the bottom, it's hard to believe anyone would be brave enough to make it all the way down this building without chickening out halfway. But I guess when the alternative is potentially losing your life, you don't have much of a choice. Thanks for checking out this video.
That guy had guts, for sure. I wish there was more paranormal in that video. Starting to get a little disappointed. Alright, next up is, well, I'm getting disappointed in Chills, because he's starting to run out of actual paranormal videos to show. Alright, so, go here, 5 scary videos to watch if you want nightmares by Sir Spooks.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 5 scary videos to watch if you want nightmares. So, let's begin. A man on TikTok named Joe, otherwise referred to as his username Royale with Cheese, posted a video with the description of the upload reading, "I'm not scared of anyone, but when it's supernatural or an invisible force, I don't know how to defend myself." He says in the video that he has been hearing scratching and banging noises coming from his roof, and in order to get some closure, he walks outside and looks at the roof to see if he notices anybody or anything, but is unable to find anything on top. Then he proceeds to investigate the area surrounding his chicken coop, and it's here that Joe gets quite freaked out, and for good reason. Take a look at this.
There's a lot of banging and scratching on my roof. I came out here to look and see. I don't see anything up there. I don't know what's going on. Hello? Do you hear that? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Hello? Told you I'm not welcome.
Most people would race back inside immediately after seeing the strange figure and hearing those weird noises right by them. But it takes Joe a little bit until he
I'd hold my hand up and say, by the power of Christ, you are not welcome.
finally decides it's too risky to investigate further. Hopefully
that'd be
Joe
my-
is doing
if I saw
okay
that, that'd
now,
be my
and hopefully the
first
strange entity
response
near
to
his
that.
chicken coop is gone for good.
That's creepy.
Jesse White uploaded a video to his personal YouTube account in December of 2019 where he explores a forest that he was close to while deer hunting in Wisconsin during Thanksgiving. White states, "My dad heard this strange sound and started recording it. It was much louder in person." He also says that he was about 150 feet away from his dad's location while filming, but he could still hear these sounds clear as day. So, without further delay, let's have a listen at these sounds.
I heard this sound. I have no clue what it is. I never heard it before in my life. Did you hear that? I'm supposed to be deer hunting now. I'm trying to record this sound I'm hearing. That's weird. Did you hear that?
Sounds like a big frog.
That's weird.
A lot of people in the comment section of Jesse's video are as equally confused as he is in regards to what could have possibly been making these creepy noises. Somebody in the comments says the sounds are very guttural and deep, and says they don't think it could be coming from a small creature, but rather a bigger one. Another person says that the sounds remind them of the sounds from the Blair Witch movie. Regardless of what was in the forest that day, one thing is for sure: it probably shouldn't be approached. In January of 2013, a channel called Maximum Disclosure published a piece of footage in what looks to be a young child's bedroom late at night. The room is lined with things that are typically found within a small child's room, such as a crib, what looks to be some sort of playful carpet on the ground, as well as a rocking horse. Make sure to pay attention to the rocking horse when you watch this clip right here and see what happens.
It's a ghost child wanting to come play with the kid.
Even if this turned out to be fake, it still is quite a creepy piece of footage. You can't see any strings attached to it, but these could of course have been removed in post. In the description of the video, Maximum Disclosure says that the video was filmed while the baby was having a bath, and while the dad and baby were in the bathroom, this is what was captured. So, what do you think? Is this authentic footage of a paranormal entity rocking a horse back and forth? Is this all a hoax? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.
I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
This next entry contains 3 different videos published by Bree Must Be Woodstock, all of which were filmed by the same people in the same location. And as you can probably expect, all of these videos contain some eerie incidents that have yet to be explained. In the first video, Bree is exploring an undisclosed abandoned building late at night. Everything is dark and as quiet as a mouse inside, but that doesn't last for too much longer.
That was a girl screaming. What?
Bree's reaction to this sound comes across as genuine. As she proceeds to walk around on the lower level floor, she hears yet another creepy sound. Bree's reaction to this sound comes across as genuine. As she proceeds to walk around on the lower level floor, she hears yet another creepy sound, albeit one that is a lot quieter than the last.
I could see it. It was a lot of dust. Yeah, you can tell the dust. You can tell the dust from the orb. What was that? What the f was that? That sounded like splashing of water.
Splash in the water.
What was that? That's. Yeah, you can tell the dust. You can tell the dust from the orb. Yeah, you can tell the dust. You can tell the dust from the orb. What was that?
Okay, I heard that
What the
time.
f was that? That sounded like splashing of water.
Splash in the water.
What the?
Oh my god. Was that for Yeah.
Is someone down there? That sounded like gushing. Yeah, you can tell the dust. You can tell the dust from the orb.
Just moments later, in the third piece of footage, one final sound can be heard, and it's this one that gets the most reaction out of Bree. Take a look and a listen.
Shut the f up! It was a beer bottle, dude. It was a beer bottle. It was a beer bottle. Who did that? Who is up there? Nope, don't go, Jordan. Who? This is the second night this happened.
Amazingly, instead of running away, Bree proceeds to ask who threw the bottle, but doesn't get any sort of response whatsoever. In the description of the upload, she explains that this footage was taken merely minutes after she entered this building. Let's just hope that Bree does not have the urge to visit this place again anytime soon. Because who knows, maybe next time the spirits will be even more hostile. On the popular ghost subreddit, a user by the name of Fit Then Fat shared a video with the title, "Someone caught this on a home security in my country of Costa Rica." The video is definitely a little bit grainy, and it can be hard to see because it was filmed late at night. but it's definitely one that is deeply unnerving. For the first few seconds of the video, we can see and hear a couple of dogs barking very angrily at something off in the distance, but we can't yet see what they are barking at. However, that all changes quite fast, as this strange entity enters our field of vision. A different angle of the same creature can be seen on TikTok user Javier
Oh, really?
Chavarria's piece of
different
footage,
clip, huh?
which sees him and a group of his friends outside when they see the creature far off in the distance. Take a look and see.
Uy, perro.
Chino.
Más,
Se hace-
nos acercamos.
Mae.
Dale, pica el culo.
Sabe, sabe,
Para
que
allá,
casi
no.
no.
Ese hijo de puta con la uña, güey, mae. Venga, pero venga, güey, pío, mae. ¿Qué pío más?
I think these are the same dogs.
Ah,
That-
será
that's likely from the same footage. This might be from the same event.
Al chile.
¿La tiene ahí?
Sí, pero no enfoca ni picha.
No, está muy largo, mae.
Mae, qué feo se ve, parece un mono esa picha.
Mae, sí, la mae está así, mae. La mae está así, picha.
No
Mae,
enfoca,
miren,
pero
nosotros
sí se ve el
salimos por ahí.
bulto.
Nosotros salimos por ahí y la... Ahí no había nada.
Mae, qué raro esa picha.
¿Ves, mae? No, yo digo, puta, ahorita viene por acá. ¿Usted la alumbraron? Mae, cuando venían de allá.
Many people believe that this creature could be the urban legend of La Mona, which originates in Costa Rica, which adds up to the video's filming location. La Mona allegedly roams around late at night and is said to stalk those who walk the dark roads. If somebody dares to look at her, they will see a woman with a face that resembles that of an ape with red eyes and a short stature. Although we cannot get a crystal clear view of the creature on these pieces of footage, the description does seem quite accurate regardless. But what do you think? Was this authentic footage of Lamona captured on camera? Is this another creature? Or is this just one big fake? Let me know your theories in the comments.
That would be one big fake, that's for sure.
And that was 5 scary videos to watch if you want nightmare.
Yeah, I'll probably be seeing that crab-like thing in my nightmares tonight. That's for sure. All right, come on, Chills. You gave us a re-upload earlier, and we want something different here. So, 5 scary videos that'll cause insomnia.
If you're trying to fall asleep, watch something else, because these videos have kept me up for days. Number 5. Imagine coming home to find your place has been broken into. The heartache and anger one must feel to have had their belongings trashed or taken, not to mention their home being trespassed on as well, and the taking away of the safe feeling you once had. Now, with the advancement of technology, it's the crooks who should be on the lookout. On top of alarms and powerful locks, home CCTV has become popular. With easy access to the internet, culprits are identified sooner. 2 individuals were caught on film as they broke open a window and made their way into a home in West Midlands, England. While it's often shown events like this take place at night, this incident was in broad daylight. The 2 strangers calmly and quietly pried open the kitchen window and slid inside. The fact they make so little noise is staggering, even when forcing open a window. Furthermore, they managed not to break the glass, which would have certainly given them away. Videos such as these show how break-ins work and allow us to see their methods. They likely chose this time of day assuming most people in the neighborhood would be away at work. They used the back window in order to give themselves some concealment. Also, one of the individuals entered the yard from another over the fence, meaning they could have been going from yard to yard to find their best chance. According to the Associated News article, the suspects on this occasion made off with a gold ring, some cash, and a passport. Unfortunately for them, they were oblivious to this camera, filming their every move from right next to them, showing off their faces despite their best efforts. While the article offers no update on the story, hopefully the valuables were eventually returned, and hopefully the homeowner improved security with an alarm system. Number 4. Indonesia is a widely diverse country in South Asia. With its plethora of different and rich cultures, folk legends are not hard to come by. Possibly the most common in the country is the Jenglot, a unique cryptid, and how recent its introduction is, which is either 1997 or 1972 depending on the source. The Jenglots are small, doll-like creatures allegedly residing on many islands of Indonesia, but are most common on Java, the most populated. As the legend goes, Jenglots were once humans who practiced forbidden magic in an attempt to gain immortality. When they passed, the earth rejected their bodies, making it impossible for decomposition to take effect. This results in them shrinking considerably in size and their skin drying. Displays of alleged Jenglots have become popular in Indonesia, gathering thousands of curious observers. In 2011, a video was uploaded to YouTube showing one of these creatures on display. According to news articles, the Jenglot was supposedly found in a village in the Java province of Cirebon. It was found by a villager named Abdul Jamil in the nearby Soka River. Jamil was already known around the area, with residents believing he has connections to the supernatural. The display became so popular it had to be relocated to the local sports hall to accommodate all the visitors. The specimen is certainly something to behold and would fit in alongside the collection of Ripley's Believe It or Not. The Jenglot in the video is certainly difficult to determine what it could actually be, but Indonesia is home to various species of primates, including monkeys similar in size to the Jenglot. A closer look at the Jenglot does present
Very creepy. I don't know if it's real or not, but
doubts though, as the skin appears to be some sort of plaster. As for the teeth, they more resemble some sort of mineral carved to resemble teeth. The creature's hair doesn't resemble real hair, instead showing characteristics of a synthetic fiber wig cut down to size. Of course, none of this is to outright dismiss the existence of the Jenglot as a whole. There are many people who believe them to simply be a largely undiscovered species of animal residing in the dense jungles of Indonesia's 17,000 islands. It is entirely possible Jenglots could be real, perhaps an undiscovered primate. However, in the case of this village, the specimen appears more likely to be an artistic creation. On a positive note, the creature's display did bring thousands of onlookers, providing the town with revenue. There is certainly nothing wrong with venturing far to see the various oddities the world has to offer. They inspire creative thinking, causing our minds to theorize all sorts of wonders of what could be out there. It also has us questioning things, reminds us to look closer rather than take things at face value. Take another look. I would love to hear what you conclude. Number 3. Work can already be a challenging task, so imagine having to face off with the paranormal while you're at it. A security guard in Costa Rica had this exact experience during his night shift at a telephone office. He was the sole person in the building at the time, and strange things began to happen around him. He eventually took out his phone and hit record, explaining he is hearing unexplained noises from the women's washroom, as well as the door opening by itself. He bravely gets up and walks over to the now partially open bathroom, then turns on the light to the main room he is in. Walking into the open, he is in the waiting area, devoid of anything else. As he films, a weird squeaking noise can be heard from behind the desks. Though what could be making this is out of sight. It sounds as if something is dragging across the floor, similar to when someone drags their hand on the same type of surface. Right after this, the chair furthest away from him moves on its own, something the camera picked up. He moves closer to get a better view, and as he is settled, the chair pivots as if turning to face him. Startled, he retreats into the hallway to catch his breath. After hearing more faint sounds, he is again shocked to see the door at the opposite end of the hall slowly close on its own. Then the video ends, presumably because the guard decided to run out the front door. It's a strange telephone office of all places that would be haunted, but this only makes one wonder what happened in this building, or what happened on the area in which it was built. Aside from getting a fright, it appeared whatever was with him meant the guard no harm. In terms of poltergeist activity, this was as tame as it gets. However, this certainly makes it no less of a scary experience. Unfortunately, due to the video quality, it is difficult to downright impossible to determine if any orbs are present, and any humanoid figures seen lurking in the background are likely tricks of the eyes, as our brains as viewers are attempting to make sense out of the shapes. What certainly isn't some sort of trick is the moving chair and closing door, as those can be clearly seen despite the pixels. Not much else is known about the clip, as the guard likely wished to maintain privacy for himself and the business he worked for. Hopefully things have remained tame during his tenure as security for the premises. Number 2. Sean Lamson is a YouTuber who provides a variety of different content. He fixes cars, plays music, plays with his pets, you name it. But a year ago, he ventured into the realm of paranormal investigation. It started when he uploaded a short video of strange noises coming from the top floor of his home. Sean and his sister Angela creep up the stairs to investigate, only to hear a loud shuffle towards them. This, understandably, sends them sprinting from the home.
Can't hear it.
According to Sean. According to Sean in the comments and video description, the video was recorded just after midnight while he was in the process of moving. According to Sean in the comments and video description, the video was recorded just after midnight while he was in the process of moving. He goes on to say the home was scheduled to be demolished, and he theorizes perhaps whatever is haunting the place is angry about this fact. The same day, Sean also uploads a video showing a recording his sister had made in the upstairs room. Prior to recording the first video, a shorter one was filmed in the upstairs room but wasn't uploaded. Instead, Sean shares the audio of something truly scary. A low voice can be heard whispering in the audio, and when slowed down, it sounds like it's saying, "Get out of here." In the description, Sean says he believes it is of demonic origin. Soon after, Sean, Brooklyn, and his friends Ethan and Matthew return to the house in order to move some stuff. Sean decides to record the events which transpired, which turned out to be a good idea. As Sean heads back to the spot he fled from the night before, you can hear no sound is made, meaning his feet weren't the cause, nor was it the stairs creaking, or anything of the sort.
That's the door to the room. See, now there's no noises.
After entering the room, Sean points out how there isn't anything in the room.
It's always gotta be that creepy door sound. Okay, this is the room. As you can see, there's nothing in here. Nothing at all.
meaning nothing could have randomly fallen in there to make such a loud noise. While in here, Ethan explains how days prior, he could hear running coming from the room. When going to investigate, he saw a shadow figure run towards the crawlspace door. Nothing strange happens while they are in the room during the day, but Sean includes some clips of what happened right before he and his sister went to investigate the upstairs. Despite nobody being on the second floor, faint footsteps can be heard seemingly pacing around. Following the failure to find anything during the day, the trio returns to the house later that night with more company. Sean explains the power to the house is now shut off, meaning they will literally be wandering around in the dark. After spending some time on the stairs, the group finally manages to muster the courage to venture further up. As they do, a very clear growl can be heard.
Hold on.
You met in that room? I don't want to be lost.
This ends up being the last piece of evidence they managed to capture, as nothing more can be seen or heard, and the house has since been torn down. It is strange the paranormal experiences only started right before he moved out and the home demolished, at least as far as we know, since Sean hasn't uploaded previous videos on the subject. It gives credibility to his idea whatever was living there became discontent with the prospect of losing the residents. Brooklyn even says she had been in the crawl space before without fear or concern. Whatever it was, we'll never know unless the spirit continues to haunt the grounds of its former home. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not the couple they claim videos on to find out? Number 1. Lainey and Ben are a YouTube couple also known for making videos on TikTok. Much of their content relates to the supposed poltergeist who lives with them in their home. Despite the term often inspiring fear, they claim the spirit is friendly, just causing small mischief. In the first video originally posted to TikTok, the couple quickly turn on the camera as the ceiling lamp in their living room starts to sway. While it could be dismissed as the wind, no noise can be heard and the plants to the left of the TV are still standing. If there was a window or door open, then we would be able to hear other outside noises, and other objects in the room would be moving with it. Shortly after, a picture frame falls flat on its back, electing nervous laughter from the couple.
What? Oh my God.
The frame also jerks to the right after the fall, and then the video ends. It's nice to see them unafraid and give genuine reactions to what is happening. While clearly used to the phenomenon by now, it still causes them excitement and even slight shock when it does happen. A welcome change from videos of people fleeing their homes from such activity, although we don't blame those who decide to do that. The next experience wasn't so funny. Late one night, Lainey awoke to sounds coming from below their loft. As Lainey is getting out of bed to investigate, she can hear the door at the bottom of the stairs click its latch. Throughout the video, orbs can be seen flying around, but considering their movement and frequency, they have to be debunked as dust. This doesn't explain the noises though, so Lainey finally moves to the top of the stairs. While pausing for a moment, she can hear the latch again.
I swear that was the step.
As if the door is being either opened or closed. At the bottom, she finds the door partially open. In the next part, she ventures out the door, almost expecting someone to be there. Instead, she finds nothing and decides to head back to bed. On her way back up, she once again hears what sounds like footsteps, followed by the door again.
It's just me. Try not to make better.
Frightened, she begs whatever is there to leave them alone, then rushes back to bed. Speaking of doors, this ghost appears to have some difficulty with them. Ben starts filming the door that goes from their kitchen to their entranceway, and stares as it starts making noises. It sounds as if it is being pushed against without the handle being turned. After some confusion, Ben and Lainey are startled when the handle begins to move on its own. Ben rushes through to investigate, only to find nothing.
Oh, that was you.
No?
Oh, that was you in the kitchen.
No?
Oh, great. Oh, that was weird.
He opens the door too fast for anyone on the other side to hide or run up the stairs, meaning it is unlikely this was some sort of hoax. The handle moved with such force as well, with no strings visible for it to have been done that way. It is possible the ghost was in fact confused about the door and how to open it. Ben and Lainey are definitely a duo to keep an eye on, with uploads relating to their paranormal activity happening regularly. Who knows what more they will encounter. When Reactor 4 burst at Chernobyl in 1986,
Creepy stuff. Alright, guys. Last. We always say, but we save the best for last. Nukes top 5.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Turning the tables. Paranormal investigators Jordan and Johnny from the YouTube channel Paranormies were contacted about an old abandoned farmhouse that's said to be extremely haunted. Over the last 70 years, the farmhouse in Steinbach, Canada has been passed from owner to owner under very mysterious circumstances. In fact, it is said that no one has ever lived in the house for more than 2 or 3 years. Rumors began to circulate that the reason that so many people moved from the house was because it was extremely haunted by a demonic presence. New owners claimed to hear unexplained voices, and their children woke up screaming, claiming to see the terrifying apparition of what they called, quote, a bad man. And the haunting is not just inside the home. Strange dark figures have been seen in the property's barn. The couple who reached out to the Paranormies team say that they've seen someone staring at them from outside the window on the 2nd floor, which is about 10 to 12 feet off the ground. Eventually, no one wanted to buy this supposedly cursed house, no matter how low the price. The farmhouse has now been abandoned for years. Paranormies team member Jordan sits down in the home's bathroom to do a sensory deprivation session. So while team member Johnny asks questions, Jordan will be blindfolded with headphones blocking out all other sound, except what comes through their spirit box. What happens next shocks them both.
Doing a sensory deprivation here. We got this camera and this camera. We heard some noises coming from this area while we were kind of just setting up the cameras, and it just sounded like it was trying to draw us into this area, so we wanted to do a sensory deprivation here. But we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. Jordan's going to be in here, and he's going to be calling it out, and I'm going to be wandering around the house so we can kind of just split up and see what we can
There we
hear.
go.
If you're the one who scared that couple off, can you make a noise for us?
Eat me too?
Or give Jordan some answers?
Johnny.
Did you hear that? What was that?
I heard something.
It was this light bulb, dude.
A light bulb.
Look. Oh my god.
That wasn't already there?
No.
Not long after Johnny asks for the spirit to make a sound for them, a light bulb mysteriously falls to the floor, right outside the bathroom where Jordan is sitting. When slowed down, you can actually see their static camera capture the moment the light bulb falls to the floor. Now, this could just be a very strange coincidence. But what happens next is a lot harder to explain. While setting up more static cameras, things take a terrifying turn.
Okay, yeah, so I kind of want to set up a camera in that corner there, and I want to set up a camera either in this corner or... Stop.
Dude, what was that?
I saw that.
What? Jordan. Jordan.
What?
Are you okay? Are you okay? Where should we go, dude? I want to get out of here for a minute, dude.
A heavy table takes a hard flip over all on its own, and the two investigators are understandably a bit freaked out. But there was something else that happened during this creepy incident. Something you might not have even noticed.
There's a lot that was
So,
going on during the
did you
table
see it?
incident that I think was missed. And for me personally, one of the scariest things aside from
I saw two things. I don't know if I'll point both of them out, but I saw two things.
the table being flipped was hearing the footsteps coming down the stairs. Stop.
Something seems to actually run down the wooden stairs, and a split second later, the table is flipped over violently. Jordan and Johnny take a break before continuing their investigation. Then they head to the wooden stairs and a flip over all on its.
Jordan.
Was that?
Okay, so apparently he didn't point out the other two oddities.
Was that?
Alright, now. Let me slow down right here. Now, if you look at the door frame right here, you'll see you can see a white mist kind of glide across, going out of the house.
Dude.
See right there. Of course, taking another look at it, that could have been just the light from his camera.
Where should we go, dude? I want to get out of here for a minute, dude.
But, however,
where should we go, dude? I want to get out of here.
let me slow it down even more for this next one.
For a minute.
Do you see it right there? There's like a gray apparition with a weird yellow eye right there. Right there. Right there. Alright, hold on. I gotta point that out. Let me go ahead and turn off the display here real quick.
For a minute.
A heavy table. Something seems to actually run down the wooden stairs, and a split second later, the table is flipped over violently. Jordan and Johnny take a break before continuing their investigation. Then they head to the farm's barn. The two guys question whether the necrophonic spirit box app they're using is actually working, and they get a very unexpected answer.
Is necrophonic real? Does it sound like some... What was that? That's what that was.
You throw a box and you say yes, do the box.
Does it sound like some...
Yeah, there's
What
nothing there
was
to
that?
throw that box, neither.
You make something else move.
What appears to be a can and a box are thrown across the barn. The Paranormies guys quickly run over to the back of the barn to investigate, but there's no one there. The guys have no idea what could have suddenly launched these objects into the air. Soon after, Jordan and Johnny call it a night and end their investigation. But after uploading their video to YouTube, their viewers were shocked to see something that the Paranormies actually missed while exploring the abandoned farm. Take a very close look.
This place, all the glass is shattered and stuff.
So it's got to be that window.
It'd be that window, barn. Shine the light back here. Yo, Johnny.
What?
Yeah, there's a barn back there. Oh, I can't really see it on my camera.
Did you see it? What looks like a dark hand can be seen reaching out from the second floor window. This is the same window where the couple claimed that they saw someone looking in at them. So could this be the demonic entity that locals claim haunt the abandoned farmhouse? Did Jordan and Johnny capture evidence of the paranormal activity that has driven past owners away in only a couple of years? Let me know what you think. You can watch this full 2-part series and many more scary investigations over on the YouTube channel Paranormies. Someone or something. Paranormal investigators Tarek, Merrick, and Rimsey from the YouTube channel Paranoiacs travel to a remote abandoned house in the middle of nowhere in Austria. The structure, surrounded by nothing but snow, looks like something straight out of a horror movie. In the dead of night, the three friends brace the icy cold weather to explore the creepy building. They quickly realize that they might not be alone.
Bir tarafa doğru gidiyor. Şuraya bak mesela. Abi çok
Oh, I saw that.
tehlikesi ben hiç bunu evin üstünde kar falan da var.
I had poked its head around that door.
Tam üstümüze yürüyor. EMF açayım. EMF aç. Ben de işte numarayı açayım. Açtım.
The Paranoiac team hears strange sounds, almost like footsteps coming from the second floor.
Hold on a second, I gotta rewind back that up here.
İşte böyle bir tarafa doğru gidiyor. Çünkü şuraya bak mesela.
Can I slow it down here again?
Şuraya bak mesela.
Oh, that was just part of the door frame that I saw.
Abi çok çok. Bir tarafa doğru gidiyor.
Yeah, I thought this part right here was a head poking out, but it just turns out to be part of the door frame.
Şuraya bak mesela. Abi çok çökme tehlikesi ben hiç bunu evin üstünde kar falan da var. Asur.
footsteps coming from the second floor, and soon after, a heavy door falls over on its own. They question what they might be dealing with, something paranormal or someone up to no good. The three explorers hear more strange sounds coming from upstairs, and they cautiously approach the staircase to check it out. It did not go well.
Seslerden ben de şoktayım da yine de hemen çekip konuşup çıkmamız gerekiyor. Şu bir mezara benzemiyor mu? Bir ses var yine. De, biz buraya bir girelim gel.
Aa şu içeri girelim.
Az bir çek. Yukarı çıkıyoruz. Emin misin abi?
Holy
Abi ne oluyor? O nereden geldi ya? Yukarı çektin mi? Hiçbir şey yoktu yukarıda.
Çektim abi de. Resmen üstümüze attılar.
Hayır, yolu kapattılar.
Abi bence burada var ya hiçbir yerde gımıldamaya gerek yok. Abi şunun iğrençliğine bak.
Ha şurayı...
As they are debating whether to go upstairs, the decision is made for them as a heavy bed made of straw is thrown down the staircase, blocking their path. The Paranoiacs team decides that's quite enough of all that, and they just leave the creepy abandoned structure. But once back outside in the freezing snow, they take one last look back at the building.
Benim ışık yine gitti. Abi ses. Ne oluyor lan abi?
Tövbe yara.
Işık mı var orada? Yukarıda da var.
Şu...
Abi bir şey var orada.
Ne oluyor lan?
Abi bak siyah bir şey var.
Görüyor musun şunu? Yürü yürü.
Bu işin şakası yok. İçeride resmen cin düğünü var.
A strange shadow can be seen from one of the upstairs windows. The investigators believe the entity to possibly be a djinn. But what do you think? Were the investigators dealing with a dark presence? Is it a homeless squatter who was simply defending his territory?
That's possible too.
Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide.
Seems a little too dangerous to be a hoax. I'm leaning more towards the homeless person, but it could still also be paranormal.
You can watch this full video and many more creepy explorations over on the YouTube channel, Paranoiacs. If you see a video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. The Ghosts of Petworth Chapel. Paranormal investigators Jeff, Phil, and Mark from the YouTube channel Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations traveled to the abandoned Petworth Chapel in a small village in Sussex, England. In World War II, a German air raid hit a nearby boys' school, and 28 children tragically lost their lives. They were laid to rest in the chapel cemetery. Cut to present day. Locals and visitors to Petworth Chapel say that they have seen and heard the apparitions of children playing in the cemetery. And there is even said to be another ghost haunting the chapel, as many believe that the spirit of the cemetery's loyal longtime groundskeeper still haunts the property. So as Ghost Tech begins their paranormal investigation late one night, team member Phil experiences something that he just can't explain.
Swap you over with that. Someone just pulled my jacket. No.
Yeah.
I wonder why you moved a bit quick then.
Phil says he feels something tug at his jacket. Now, chilling as that might be, unfortunately, the static camera doesn't capture the creepy event. But later into the investigation, when the Ghost Tech team are inside the Petworth Chapel, Jeff takes a few photos, and what he captures is downright chilling.
That was strange. That one was all blurred. Don't move, Phil. Something's not right.
Jeff takes a picture of Phil, and at first everything seems normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. But then, a dark mass seems to rise right up out of the ground next to Phil, seemingly reaching out to him. So is it possible that Ghost Tech captured one of the spirits still restlessly wandering the cemetery grounds? Did whatever it was that tugged on Phil's jacket follow him into the chapel? You decide. You can watch this full video and many more investigations of tragic and chilling hauntings over on the YouTube channel, Ghost
Given the history of that place, yeah, I'd say it's real.
Tech Paranormal Investigations. And still, Really Haunted. I featured the YouTube channel Really Haunted many times before, and for good reason. YouTuber Lee has uploaded some truly bizarre videos of an ongoing poltergeist haunting that he says is occurring in his home in England. Now, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, you know I'm not much of a believer in orbs. I think they're usually bugs or dust. But in this case, if you watch closely, you can actually see some sort of orb appear for a split second on screen near the chair, right before it violently flips over and breaks into pieces. And amazingly, check out the doggo on the couch. He's not even bothered at all. But maybe living in this house, he's just used to it. But cut to another night, and Lee is fast asleep in bed. And then this happens.
Those are some wild footsteps.
We can hear heavy thumping footsteps on the floor, and then the nightstand suddenly flips over on its own. And then something sets off the downstairs burglar alarm. But when Lee checks, there's no one in the house. Lee says that the paranormal activity in his home has gotten so bad that lately his wife and kids have been sleeping in a camper parked outside the house. You can watch more of the crazy paranormal activity that Lee has recorded in his house over on his YouTube channel, Really Haunted. Meanwhile, on TikTok.
Ooh, he's saving the TikTok clips for last. I like it.
A bus driver in Argentina claims that whenever he reaches the end of his bus route, which happens to be an old graveyard, that he always experiences strange, unexplained occurrences that he believes to be paranormal. So he started recording his experiences each time he reached the graveyard and posting them to TikTok. At first, he just used the TikTok filter Reality Ripple Effect, which allegedly shows ghosts all around you.
Detectar las ondas de calor y estoy acá en el cementerio. Aquella pared es la del cementerio. La concha de su madre, ¿qué fue eso? Esa pared, la puta que te parió. A ver, no solo la concha de la lora. A ver. La puta que te parió. A ver. Eso que no hay nadie. ¿Y eso? ¿Qué onda? ¿Quién sos? ¿Quién sos? Toca el timbre, a ver, toca el timbre. Dale, toca el timbre. La puta que te parió, la puta que...
Now, it was enough to freak him out and also some of his more superstitious friends.
Acá con mi compa. Vení, David, vos estás el testigo. Mirá, guacho. Hay algo parado ahí. El colectivo de los fantasmas. Mirá. Nos vemos, amigo. No, vení acá,
See you, buddy.
But after he had recorded using the app for a couple of weeks, he says that he had a much more serious encounter when the bus was stopped at the graveyard. An experience that chilled him to his core.
La quinta parte. Vamos a ver si hoy captamos algo. La puta que le parió. ¿Qué fue eso? Parecieran como que me cerraron una ventana. ¡La puta madre! La puta madre, no grabo nunca más acá, Concha de su madre. Me están abriendo la puerta. Lo vieron, Quedó grabado. La concha de su madre. La concha de su madre. Me están abriendo. ¡Ay! ¡La puta que te parió! Yo me voy a la mierda. ¡Ah! La concha de su madre. No. La puta que te parió. La puta que te...
The Argentinian bus driver now seems to have stopped his late-night graveyard bus recordings completely. He hasn't recorded any ghost encounters since this last video. TikTok user DadSass says that she and her sister have been experiencing some strange paranormal phenomena in their home. One night when her sister is sleeping, their CCTV camera captures something truly bizarre.
So we've been home from the hospital for a while because our kids have RSV. And thank God I have cameras because my sister was sleeping and we caught this bull.
The family says that they have no pets in the house that could have pulled off the blanket, so I'm not sure what caused this. So, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Instagram here, Twitter there, and TikTok, I guess so. I'll see you next week.
I guess so. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you want to check out these guys' channels for yourself, link is in the description down below. Go check them out. Thank you for joining me for another Saturday Night Scares, even though virtually no one showed up. That's okay though. I still enjoy doing these. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.